Rise and shine, early birds. Ever wondered how to transform those groggy 6 a.m. vibes into a high energy, get up and go groove? Well, look no further than your trusty stretching routine. Picture this, you, fresh out of bed, not just stumbling to the coffee maker but actually bending, stretching, and flexing like a pro. Sounds like a stretch? It's not. Starting your day with stretching isn't just about touching your toes, it's about setting a positive tone for the rest of your day. Studies show that morning stretches can boost your mood, increase flexibility, and even enhance your focus. Plus, it's a lot more fun than that 15-minute snooze button marathon. So, let's ditch the snooze button and embrace a routine that'll have you ready to conquer the world, one stretch at a time. Ready to roll? Let's get stretching. Single leg stretch. Let's dive right into our first stretch, the single leg stretch. Imagine this, you're lying on your back, one leg extended and the other lifted. You grab your lifted leg with both hands and gently pull it towards you, keeping the other leg straight on the ground. This move is like giving your abs a little pep talk and waking up your hamstrings with a gentle nudge. From my experience, this stretch is a game changer. I remember the first time I tried it, my legs felt like they were made of lead, and I could barely hold the position for a few seconds. But with consistent practice, I noticed a huge difference. Not only did my flexibility improve, but my lower back felt less stiff, and my core strength got a nice boost. It's like my body went from a rusty old machine to a well-oiled, high-performing engine. Glute stretch cross stretch. Next up, we have the glute stretch cross stretch. This one's a bit of a fan favorite. Sit down, with one leg extended and cross the other leg over it, placing your foot on the outside of the opposite knee. Gently twist your torso towards the bent knee, and voila, your glutes and lower back are in for a treat. I remember doing this stretch for the first time after a long day of sitting at my desk. My glutes were tight, and I was feeling the effects of hours spent hunched over my computer. The glute stretch cross stretch felt like a mini vacation for my backside. It helped release tension, increased flexibility, and made sitting less of a chore. Plus, it's a fantastic stretch to do after a workout to help ease those sore muscles. Swan Stretch. Now, let's move on to the Swan Stretch. This stretch is like the yoga equivalent of a morning cup of coffee. It invigorates and rejuvenates. Start by lying face down, then press into your palms and lift your chest, extending your back as much as comfortably possible. It's a great way to open up your chest and stretch out your lower back. The Swan Stretch quickly became my go-to after a night of tossing and turning. It's like a gentle hug for your spine. I remember feeling a noticeable relief in my lower back after just a few repetitions. It's amazing how a simple stretch can turn a stiff morning into a fluid, more comfortable day. Kneeling Child Pose. Finally, let's wrap up with the Kneeling Child Pose. This stretch is pure bliss. Start by kneeling on the floor, then sit back on your heels and extend your arms forward, lowering your torso toward the ground. It's like a gentle surrender to relaxation. The Kneeling Child Pose is my ultimate go-to for winding down. After a busy day or an intense workout, this stretch helps me relax and reset. I remember days when I'd feel stressed and overwhelmed, and a few minutes in this pose would leave me feeling calm and centered. It's like hitting the reset button for my mind and body, making it an essential part of my routine. Camel Pose. Let's talk about the Camel Pose. Imagine this, you're kneeling on the ground, reaching back to grab your heels while arching your back. It sounds like a wild yoga pose, but it's actually a fantastic way to open up your chest and stretch out your entire front body. When I first tried Camel Pose, I felt like a pretzel, tightly wound and slightly off balance. But, oh, the payoff. After a few weeks, my posture improved, and my back felt more flexible. Plus, it's a great counterbalance to all the sitting we do. Just a few minutes in Camel Pose, and I felt like I could take on the world, standing taller, breathing deeper, and embracing the day with confidence. Hip circles. Next, let's get those hips moving with hip circles. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart, and make big circles with your hips. It's like you're shaking off the morning stiffness and giving your hips a little morning dance party. Hip circles quickly became my favorite way to get my blood flowing. After a long night, my hips often felt like they were in a constant state of rebellion. But with a few rounds of hip circles, I could feel the tightness melt away. It's almost like magic, my hips become more limber. Feet stretch. Now, onto the feet stretch. Sit down, extend one leg, and reach for your toes. It might seem simple, but this stretch is incredibly effective for waking up your feet and calves. I remember when I first added this stretch to my routine, my feet felt like they had been stuck in a shoe for too long. After a few sessions, though, the tension in my calves and feet eased up, and I could move with a little more pep. It's a great way to start the day on the right. Knee raise. Moving on, let's tackle the knee raise. Stand tall and lift one knee up toward your chest. Then switch legs. It's like your body's way of saying, hey, let's get this show on the road. The knee raise has become my go-to move for shaking off that early morning grogginess. It's not only great for activating your core and hip flexors but also adds a bit of dynamic movement to your routine. After incorporating knee raises, I noticed my balance and coordination improved, and I felt more energetic throughout the day. Rotation stretch. Let's get twisting with the rotation stretch. Sit or stand with your arms out to the sides and twist your torso from side to side. It's like giving your spine a gentle wake-up call. The rotation stretch has become a key part of my morning routine. It helps with spinal flexibility and feels amazing on my lower back. I remember the first time I tried it, I could barely make it halfway before feeling tight. Now, I can twist with ease, and it feels like I'm adding a bit of extra fluidity to my movements. Hands above head. Finally, let's reach for the stars with the hands above head stretch. Simply stand up, reach both hands toward the ceiling, and stretch your whole body. It's a great way to finish off your stretching routine with a full body reach. When I started doing the hands above head stretch, I felt like I was opening up a whole new world of possibilities. It's an invigorating way to end your stretching routine, leaving you feeling stretched, strong, and ready to take on whatever comes next. So there you have it, my morning stretch routine that turns groggy starts into energetic beginnings. Give these stretches a try, and watch your mornings transform into a revitalizing ritual. Stretch on and embrace the day with a smile. Make sure to like and subscribe, comment on your experience if you ever tried these stretching exercises.